This meeting is now being recorded.
Hi there, my name is Pepper, and I'm going to be hosting this webinar on agent marketing. So it's very likely that you just had a loan officer decide to sign you up for agent marketing, and now you're like, what is agent marketing and what is it going to do for me as an agent? So before I begin on going over what agent marketing does and how to use parts of it, make sure your setup is done correctly. I'm going to just quickly thank our Cactus loan officers. They're all amazing people. So we got Abdon, Ray, Courtney, Sean, Chris, and Mike. They are our wonderful Cactus loan officers. Okay, so what is agent marketing? Basically, imagine if you wanted to have a site that could just generate a whole bunch of different ways to market, and basically most of it gets created just by creating this one website. So with the website, a lot of other stuff gets created in the background, and you can do all kinds of stuff with the marketing materials that they have available for you. So the first thing you have to do is you have to create the property website. So here's a couple examples of some websites that you can create. And there's like over 800 different combinations of different property sites that you can create. So here's just a couple to look at. The one up above, that's one of my favorites. It's got like a little neighborhood theme in it. And then you've got the one down below is has a spokesperson you'll see on the right-hand side. We'll go over that later. And that's also a really cool one. So there's all different features that you can add to it. Okay, along with the property website comes a photo gallery virtual tour, and you can customize those if you want to. And you can actually do a separate virtual tour as well. So that's something that is something you can put into your MLS. So, and then you can also create a personal website. Instead of a property website, it'll be a personal website, and it links all the properties that you have in the system to you. So there's a whole bunch of different combinations on that as well. As a matter of fact, I was just listening to an agent marketing webinar this morning, and if you call them, they will actually walk you through and create your own personal website however you want it, whatever you want it to look like. And if you call them and ask for that little website makeover, they'll even give you free stuff. They'll give you, I think they said, a sign writer and some business cards. And anyway, and you just call their hotline and they do all this for you. So usually to get a custom-made website, it would cost hundreds of dollars, but they're just willing to do it for free. So while they have it available, I would suggest calling their free hotline, and I would see about setting that. Okay, so a couple things that you can do after the property site is created. There's a couple different email blasts that you can, or emails that you can send out. One of them is just a regular property. So what you do is you just go on and you send it to yourself, and then you send it out to people that you want to send it to. It's got all the great information about the property. So you could say something like, "Hi Mark, I have a new listing. I was thinking about you and some of your clients that you're working with. You know, we're having an open house this weekend. If you'd like to drop by and take a look at it, you know, I'd love you to come by. Open houses from 12 o'clock to 4 o'clock this Saturday." Something like that, right? And you can send that out to a whole bunch of people. It's very professional. They have another one that actually is something that you can send to the sellers, so the people that you're listing for, and it gives them an idea of all the different places that this is getting sent to. I'll go ahead and I'll see, I think I could pull that up to show it to you. So then you've got below, you've got what I call an ebook. They call it a flip book, and this can be used a lot of different ways. One of the ways that they talk about using it is just using it for getting your next listing. So you actually, they've got one that's already pre-made for you, but you can actually edit it, adjust things, take things out, put things in. I actually have a webinar, a recorded one, on using flipbooks, and you can create it and then basically you bring it to a listing and you say, listen, you know, if you use me, these are some great things that I'm going to do for you. I'm going to make sure that, you know, we have an open house, that we, you know, do online advertising, social media advertising. You know, we're going to have flyers all over the neighborhood, you know, that there's all these great things that we're going to do, and it kind of walks you through all the different things that agent marketing has. So if you're interested, I have a recorded webinar on Flipbooks, and I can always send that out to you. Okay. Another thing that's really easy to do with agent marketing is online advertising. So doing like an online classified ad. So 3 of the things that are built into the system is Backpage, Craigslist, and YouTube. And just this week they actually had a new update in Craigslist, so that's kind of nice. And you can see that very professional formats, and they're really, really super easy to do. I'm not going to get a chance to go over these because today is just a basic introduction, but I do have a recorded webinar on online advertising. I didn't know about the updates on the Craigslist, so that's not going to be in there because that just happened, I think, today is when it just became active, because I just was on Craigslist yesterday and it didn't pop up, so I think it just became active today. So let's see here, YouTube, super easy to put videos on, and actually once you link it to your YouTube account, you don't have to do anything after that. It'll automatically, any property that you put in, it'll automatically generate a video for you. So that's kind of nice. You can also, if you like other online classified ads, they provide HTML code that you can actually put in the description area, and you'll see that one on the bottom right, and it'll look just like that. So it's really cool to, you know, you didn't have to like go and create any of this. You just basically copy and paste. So very easy to do. And again, if you're interested in this and the next page, I do have a recorded webinar on that. Okay, this is one of my favorite features, is the flyers. So you'll see they've got 6 different flyers. They've got 2 different mortgage flyers where it's got breakdown of different kind of payments. And they've got 4 just regular, so they've got anywhere between like 1 picture on it to having 5 pictures on it. So you got a lot to choose from. They're very professional looking, and you can just print them either from your house, or you can print them from your office, or you can ask your loan officer if they could, you know, print off a couple for you for an open house or something like that. So lots to choose from. Okay, they also have a feature called Broadcast My Move. I also call this the e-card because I don't think that it has to be just for the buyers. There's lots of things you can do with it. But it's basically a postcard that you send. You can either send them to the buyer via email, or you can put it on a Facebook. And it looks just like this, and you could put pictures in there. And it just looks really nice. They could share, hey, I'm moving, here's my cool new house. You could put MLS pictures if you don't have pictures of their house because they just moved. So the people can just see what a cool house they have. And people, when they move, they want to share it. And you have given them this thing that they can put on their Facebook and they can share it. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, it'll actually have the agent information. So it publicizes for you. So how great is that? And it's in a positive way. There's also, with the click of a button, and all you need is an email, is a feedback survey. So if you have a listing that maybe isn't going the direction, or you are worried that maybe the price is too high, whatever, you want to get some information back, you can customize these questions, or you can use the questions that they give you. It's up to you. And you can basically send these out to agents that have come by to show the house, or you can, if you have an open house, you can send it out to people that came to the open house. So it's very easy. All you need is an email to send those out. Okay, then you've got social media. Now, it doesn't get much easier than this. Basically, all you have to do for social media, there's some quick buttons that you can push to do it on agent marketing, but even easier than that, you could just take the website and it'll create a thumbnail, and when they click on any part of that, it'll actually bring them to the mobile or the regular website. and it looks nice. You can put in there, hey, you know, this weekend we're having an open house. You're not going to believe the backyard of this place. I'm talking fruit trees, you know, custom pavers, you know, whatever. I always suggest trying to not be blah, but try to bring life into it and try to make it exciting. Because if you do that, people are more likely to pay attention to that than if, you know, you're just like having an open house, 12 to 4. That probably isn't going to attract a lot of attention. Now, Agent Marketing has got quick buttons to connect to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest. Now, Google+, there isn't one, but it's not hard. It's actually just as easy as the rest of them to put stuff on Google+. So even though there's not like a button for it, it's really easy to use. Okay, so that kind of gives you at least an idea of some of the things that you can do with Agent Marketing. Okay, so my goal today is I kind of want to walk through a little bit of, here's our home page, and just kind of walk through a little bit. And then I want to show you how to add a property. So let's just take a look. So here's the home page after you log in. You've got your tabs up here. Anything to do with the property you find here. This is your leads. There's lots of things to do with leads. I'm going to be going over the notifications specifically today to make sure that's set up for you properly. And then we're going to go over, you can actually, I should have a recorded webinar on this because I'm doing it tomorrow, but who knows when you're listening to this because this is also recorded, on how to build a custom website. And as I told you, if you call the 949-328-5050, if you call them and say, hey, hook me up with the custom graphics and all that stuff on my personal website, not only will they do it, but they'll give you free stuff. So take advantage of it while it's there. It's usually, you know, a few $100s to do something like that. So definitely take advantage of that. Okay? So marketing, this gives you a great idea of some ideas of marketing. I'm going to get into that in just a second. We're going to go over setup, just making sure everything's set up in there. This just, if you do buy stuff through them, this is kind of going to just give you an idea of what you've bought. They've also included email log and chat log in here. These are brand new. If you're a blogger, blogging is great. Some people love it. I'm spelling challenged, so blogging is not my strength. But if you love blogging, there's lots of great things. And I would suggest if you go to marketing, they actually have webinars on blogging and blogging, these two right here, and they've got some great advice in how you should do it, specifically at Agent Marketing. So if you are a blogger and you want to do this, I would suggest watching those videos. So they also have, I think, PDFs or something on blogging. So, you know, under marketing, you can actually find some ideas as well. Okay? Of course, you can log out. So let's say that, you know, you want to do something. You're real excited, ready to gung-ho on adding a property, and you have a question. You're like, I don't know what to do on, you know, blogging or whatever, and I clicked on the thing, and now I'm stuck. Well, there's lots of different places you can go for help. Okay, so let me point out a couple. So the best and more effective way to get help is using the support hotline. So that 949-328-5050, they have they used to have 6 agents. I just listened to the webinar today, and they said they have like 21 now. So you call that, they will help you one-on-one get through whatever you need to get through. They're fantastic at it, and I call them all the time when I have questions. So that's my, if I was to suggest a way to do it, that's the way I would do it. If you need more general help, like you don't even know where to get started, one of the places you could go is this little Get Help, and you can actually search the question that you have, and it will pull up different material for you. Okay, so now you'll see this little box up on the left-hand side here where it says questions. So if I click on that, I can actually type a question in there, and somebody will get back to me. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you on this because I've used it a couple times. I believe they're working with several people at the same time, so it's a very slow process. So even when the person gets with you, it could be a couple minutes before they get back with you. So that's definitely something that you might want to use if you got a little extra time on your hands, okay? So that one is there for a real quick question, but I wouldn't suggest, especially if you're in a rush, I don't know that I would use that one, okay? The other place that you can go, there's the click here to get started. There's all of these great webinars they put together. If you say you needed to find out, you're like, I want to find out how to use social networking. So here's what you do. You just go in here, you take a look at, you know, Facebook, what they've got going on here. If you want to find out more about Twitter, if you want to find out about blogging, they've got, you know, a video you can watch on it. They've got great information down here you can read on it. So they've got some great material in here, and I kind of already showed this to you, but the other place you can go is marketing, where you can find how-tos and different webinars. So this is another area that you can look at, and you can find great information. So I had to self-learn when I was going through the system because nobody was there to show me how to do anything. So I basically watched about every video that they gave me, and I just kind of made myself as much of an expert as I can. So I know a lot about agent marketing now, you know, but I didn't start off that way. I started off a year ago. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Let's just see what this program has with it. And now I'm doing webinars. I know so much about the system, and I work with other loan officers, and I work with agents all the time on it. So, you know, if you're one of those types of people that is good with self-learning, there's lots of material in here to help you with that. Okay, so we're back to home. I think we're finished with that. So what we're going to do next is we're going to check to make sure that you're properly set up. Now, sometimes when a loan officer sets you up, I had one the other day that was setting up. He had a meeting to go to. He wanted to get the information in there really quick, so he didn't have time to put all the information in, but he just wanted to get it out to them so that they can start messing around with it. So sometimes I built this one very quickly today. There's not a lot put in here. So what you want to make sure is you want to kind of fill out, you know, some information. So if you have a website that you use, you could put it in here. If you are a blogger, you could put that blog address in there. You could put the phone number they have. If you have a fax number that you want to put in there, or maybe an office phone number, for some reason, on our account, it will automatically default and it'll put Abdon in this little box. I don't know why it does it. It's just one of those things. Often I'll put text to, and then I'll just put the cell phone number again. There's lots of people that like texting, so it's easy to do. Then you can come over here to gender. So, you know, I work with a team here, and then you would put in your address. They might not have had time to put that in. Okay, so you just fill that in. Okay, designations. Designations are just specialty areas that you have as a realtor. If you don't have any, I think that there's a couple of these that you can use for if you don't. And basically these little icons will pop up underneath your name on the property website. So it just makes you look a little more professional. So if you don't have any, you can always use this Equal Housing logo, and you can do this MLS, and maybe just this realtor. So those are some basic. The other ones you'd have to know for sure, like what they are. If you hate your password, you know you're never going to remember it, here's a place you could change that password. So you just put your password in, retype it, hit save over here in the left-hand corner, and then that's going to be your new password. Okay, this is something I'm going to have a webinar on maybe in a couple weeks. They just have this new chat thing that they can do on the property websites where they can chat with you. It'll go to your cell phone, the website, and email. So if somebody wants to talk with you about the property right then, you can actually do it. I mean, it's kind of a cool little program they got. So anyway, this is kind of customizing that, which I'll have to do that one a little bit later. Now, this here is letting everybody know what area are you working in. It lets agent marketing know. It knows what area you're in. So you might want to put, if you have different places that you know you work, you just kind of put those zip codes in, okay? Make sure, if you don't want to redo all this again, you need to make sure you hit the save button. So now they may have loaded a picture for you or the logo for you, or maybe you didn't have a picture, or maybe you got new pictures done, whatever. You need to have new picture, new logo put in. I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so you're going to want to do this with a small picture. It'll automatically go over to this HD picture, but this small image has to be on there to be on the website. So you want to make sure you have that. So if I'm uploading that, I just click it. I find my picture on my computer, which I have it right here. Open it. It uploads it. Don't worry about uploading it over here. It'll do it on its own. Then you can see if your logo's in one of these drop down. Okay, or maybe you like one, you have one on your computer that you like. I find logos that are white, that have a white background, work better with agent marketing, but it doesn't mean that you have to do that. It's just something I've noticed. Some of the formats, I think, when they have a colored background, it makes them look a little off. But again, that's just a preference thing. You might be fine with it. Okay, personal bio. This is just something that you can kind of write about yourself, kind of like and it will be available on Google. So if somebody Googles your name, this will come up. I don't have one, but this is kind of what it would look like, but it would have all this information. Okay? So it's just another place for, you to be found. Now we're going to go to options. This is a place for you to connect your social media. So all you have to do is you just put your oh, you know what? It's so funny. I've been doing this for how long, and I just finally read the directions. Okay, so basically it says you just put in your login names. So if you have a Facebook login name, you just put that in, right? So mine is for Facebook. No, that's not right. PBA. Okay, that would be for my Facebook, so that's my login. So you would do the same thing for all of these, okay? So you just put those in. If you want to connect to your business page, then you just click these little googly eyes, and then you find, it helps you find the business page, and then you just add the app. Very easy to do. Okay, then you can choose different button styles. I really like this torn paper. I just did it the other day, and I really like it. If you want them small or large, you can choose how you want that. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Okay, IDX setup. This is something I'm going to go over at a different time, but this is a way that you can connect automatically to the system. So what this does is if you're automatically connected, it will actually say that you just got a new listing. Within 24 hours, it will load the website. I would suggest editing the website because they do a lot of random stuff in there. So I think that it's a good idea to go in and make sure you like the layout, make sure, that you have the features like the spokesperson if you want on there. But it's really nice because it'll automatically upload that for you. So if the property sells, it'll relist it as being sold. It will, if the price changes, it'll automatically update the price change without you having to go in and update the price yourself. So there's a lot of cool things that connecting it will do. Let me show you really quickly. I'm not a realtor, so I don't have an MLS number, but let me just kind of give you an idea of what this looks like. So it's going to tell me to get started. Now, at this point, you would just, if you had a listing, most likely what it would do is it would have this line up here, and it would tell you, basically it'd have your information, maybe your email, and you just have to choose yourself. And then it'll go to your MLS, it'll pull up all that information. So, and then after you do that, so after you connect, if you wanted to automatically do it all the time for you, what you will need to do is you'll need to go to Properties, and you'll need to go to Options, and you need to make sure that you click this button right here, this Fully Automate My Property Site. That is going to make it to where it's going to automate everything. The only thing it doesn't automate for you is pictures. So if you've had a change of pictures, you've added pictures, anything like that, that is something you're going to have to do yourself. But other than that, it'll take care of everything for you. Okay? So let's see here. I think we finished the setup. Okay, we did. So the next thing I want to do to make sure you have everything set up is I want to talk about leads. If you go under notifications, right now, if somebody was to want to find out more information on a property site that I have, it would send me an email. Now, I have been sending realtors emails for a while now, and I find that I will have some email me back right away. I will have some email me back 1, 2, 3, 4 a week later. I've even had one didn't email me for a month later. So email sometimes is not a great place to get connected with you, because the faster you connect with that person, they're excited, they see this house, they want to find out more information, you want to get into that excitement, because now they've moved on to another house, they're looking at another house, and they're looking at a 5th house. Now you've lost them, okay? They can't even remember what house, yours is. So I would suggest getting this set up for text messaging. That way you can call them immediately. So the way you do that is you put your cell phone number up here, okay? And here's the one. You can actually select all of these, but what I would suggest is do the first, the second, because this is, if people want to find out more information from the website, or maybe they use the text, this will get sent to your phone. And then I also would do my custom text codes. Now, you have to make sure you hit save. If you don't hit save, it's just going to go back to what it was, okay? So that is my suggestion. You can also put these in. Say the person wants to find out more information. You can set them on an automatic drip campaign over here. This is a new feature that they just added. I have a recorded webinar that I just did, but this feature wasn't available when I recorded it. Anyway, so they've got some in here. This is a brand new one, so I don't have any of them selected. But you can set that up to where after you've gotten off after they have texted you, now you can automatically have stuff sent to them. So it's a little lead capture going on there. Okay, so this right here takes care of a complete setup. After that, there's not much more you can do. So what I want to go over next is on how to add a property. Okay, on adding a property, if you have a listing, then that's great. Then that's, and you have it automatically connected, it'll do it for you. But if you're having an open house, if you're co-listing with somebody or anything along those lines, you're going to have to know how to add a property. Okay, so this is what you do. Very easy. I go to Properties, I hit Add New. This is the easiest way to do it, where you just take the MLS number and you put it in here. Now, sometimes smaller places don't have their list hubs done up all the time. If that's the case, you might have some problems with that. But that's only happened, I've seen just a couple times. So if you have to enter this by hand, just keep in mind any of the things that have these little orange triangles next to them, that means you need to fill out that information, okay? Otherwise, Don't worry about it. Okay, so taking a look, I'm just going to pick a random, let's do this one. So I'm going to put in an MLS number. Then I'm going to hit go. It's going to pull up the property. Now sometimes if you just put in a listing, it could take 24 hours for it to get into the system. So you can make a decision. Do you want to enter it by hand or do you want to wait another day? Okay. We're going to hit choose. This is not my listing, so I'm going to hit no. Keep myself out of trouble. Now you'll notice all those blanks are now filled in for me. So that's nice. By the way, if you fill the things in by hand, and you're on the automated system, you should just know that it will still automatically create a property site for you in the system, and that's going to be the one that's going to get updated. So the one that you create is not going to get updated. It doesn't recognize it. I don't know why, but it took me a little bit to figure out why there was double up on properties. And it was because it was automatically creating a separate property, and with that separate property, it was only updating the price and things on that property. So if that happens and you were just eager, what you could do is delete the one that you created and keep the one that they have done automatically, and that will make sure that all your stuff, as prices drop or it gets sold, it'll get updated for you. Okay, so we're going to hit proceed. Now, a couple little things. There's 3 little areas I would suggest filling in. For some reason, I don't know why, it doesn't like to fill in the garage. I have no idea why. I just do it. So let's just say that this is a 2-car garage. Lot size, I have a very few of them. It'll put it in. Most of the time, it doesn't. Now, the next thing is on the when people are Googling, I don't know a single person that's going to Google single-family detached other. It's just not going to happen. So you have to think about what is it that people will be looking for. So I will get rid of this. I like location. I think location is good. But I would put something like 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom in Sun City, Arizona. Okay? So that's what I would suggest. Now, if you have compliant, you have a brokerage that requires special compliance issues, like you have to have, you know, listing by or open house by, and if you're doing someone else's listing, you have to have their name. In the description is where I would suggest putting it, because that's going to stay there. So if that happens, you would just come in here and, like, let's say I'm doing the open house. Okay, and then maybe your Arizona properties. Okay, can't spell properties. Okay, so if you have compliance issues where the company requires you to have things like this, just put it in the description. Okay? So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go to proceed. Okay? So here's where you're going to pick the layout. So the layouts have different features that you could choose with each one of them. That gives you a very basic idea. I really like this one, but it doesn't have very many tabs, so I kind of steer away from that one, especially on open houses. My 2 favorite are probably layout 4 and 5. My favorite is probably layout 4. What you do is you click on it, and then you'll see theme. You've got all these different options. So let's say I want to say, well, what's beach access look like? Oh, that's really nice. I'm going to go ahead and choose that. Or maybe you say, I don't really like that one. Let me take a look at garden path. That's really pretty. I'm going to choose that one instead. Okay, very easy. You can change these as often as you want. Okay. Now, right now, this is going to be www.19609 blah, 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 .agentmarketing.com. Now, as somebody that gets on Google, I would rather see something besides agentmarketing.com. No offense to Agent Marketing. There are some great, and they're free, choices some ones that I use a lot are Best Home Around, Can Be Yours, Check Out More, Nice Family Home. If you've got a great sense of humor, they got one, I like this one, Stop the Car, Honey. So they've got a whole bunch of different ones that you can choose from, okay? And I just think it looks better to have something like that rather than agentmarketing.com, okay? Now, if I get an error message, it means I've got to change something in my website key. Now, I think I should get an error message. Let me see. If I don't, it just means you need to take out the N here, or maybe I expand it and I put North Pine Springs. So I did get an error message. So I'm going to take out that N. And I'm also going to, I kind of like things to be clean. So I kind of like to do that when I can. Now I hit proceed. Okay, so that meant it was good. Now, here's adding our pictures. You can add them from your computer on this left-hand side, or you can add them from the MLS on your right-hand side. Now, if you do it from your if you do it from the MLS, this is your only chance to do it, is right now. Okay, you can't do it any time later. So you have to delete the property, start the whole process over to get it from the MLS. I would suggest using it. If not, you can always upload them from here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Okay, so all my pictures came up as thumbnails. I can add captions if I want to. You know, I could put great curb appeal. Okay. And I suggest that when you're putting pictures in, that you want to make sure that your best pictures are your first 5 pictures. So you take a look. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see with these little ones. Sometimes I do picture. I view them on the website, and then I kind of look at them because they're bigger that way. Let's see here. I don't know what that is, but it kind of looks like it's decent. We've got some kitchen pictures. That's nice. So let's go ahead and let's leave it here. Now, it automatically saves it for you. If you want to upload more pictures, maybe it's your listing and you added a couple more pictures, all you have to do is just upload here. I believe it puts it right down towards the bottom. Or maybe you've had somebody come in and do new pictures. You can delete all your pictures and then just add new ones. Okay, so it's saved, so I'm going to go return. Okay, so we have now created the site, but I want you to notice it says that it is not active. So I'm going to do a couple things before I make it active. These little thumbnails are all connected to that property. These are all things that you can do with that Pine Springs property. So this one here just lets us know what state it's in. This is your buying. This is how you activate the website. Now when it says buy, there are some things you can buy in there, but do not feel obligated to buy anything. You basically check out with a zero balance. It just makes it active, okay? This is how you view your property website. Here's where you go to edit different details. This is where you go to add more pictures. You can connect to YouTube on this. There's lots of little things you could do. This is basically kind of like a checklist of some things that you can think about doing to strengthen your website. They just have some suggestions. This is a report, tells you everything that has been done to the website. This is your little feedback button. You want to send feedback. You click on this, put in the email. This lets you know how many people have been on your website. Tools has all kinds of cool things you can do with the property website, as well as some other things. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do edit. Okay, so on edit, I suggest putting in under community, I suggest putting the subdivision. You don't have to. This is in Sun City, the community, or the, okay. And then on this one here, especially if you're doing a payment flyer, I would suggest putting in the property financials because it'll include that. So like let's say, on the MLS this is located on there. So the HOAs, let's just say that every month, on average, you are paying $35 a month. The taxes will be done by year, divide by 12. Let's say that comes to $85 a month. Insurance, you can estimate anywhere between $40, $50, $60. Okay? And you can also put links and stuff where you just copy like a school's website and you could put it in here. Now notice I didn't hit save as I was going back and forth between all of these. This is the only place that you can do that. Okay, so here's my description. So one of the things you can do is you can actually put little bullet points. So on the bullet points, what I would suggest doing is you don't need to put bedrooms, bathrooms, square feet. That already does it for you. So look for other features on here. So this is a complete remodel. Okay. It's got stainless steel appliances. And you can kind of go through, and it's got a wet bar. Okay. You can go through some things the property has on it. Okay. Go to layout. You decide you hate layout 4, you're done with it, you don't want it anymore, you want layout 5. Here's where you change that. Okay? You can change this. I would not change this. I had some problems when I did that the other day. We ended up having to delete the website and I had to start all over again. So especially after it's active, I would leave that alone. Okay? For those of you that have homeowners that really like to get involved, they can be involved with some of the website, not like full access like what you have, but they can request feedback and view feedback if they want to. So anyway, this is just a place you just put their email, give them a login password, and they can have that control. You'll get that a lot when you've converted somebody that's for sale by owner. They kind of want that feeling of, you know, I have something that I'm going to be doing on this house. So here's a place you can do that. You can put notes in here if you want to. So now that I've gone through all of these, I'm going to hit save. Okay, so let's take a look at our website. Okay, so here's my website. It's got all this great information. Okay, now here's a feature. It's all my tabs right here. Now, here's a feature that a lot of agents love right now, so I'm going to show it to you. They love the spokesperson, and I can see why they love it, because I love it. Okay, spokesperson. So this one here, let's just say this is Stunning View. You can pick any of those that you want. You can change it. Now, take a look at when I go back to viewing my website. So it's really nice. I think it kind of makes the website pop a little bit. So I love the spokesperson. I think it's a great addition. So anyway, so we've done everything that we're going to do on putting together a basic property. And what we're going to do is now we're going to buy it. So we're going to go to the buy to make it active. Okay, this is the only one that you need to make sure has the box clicked in it. And notice it doesn't cost me anything. Okay, they have all these different things they're going to want to sell you on. Do not feel obligated to get any of them. Your loan officer makes no money on any of these products. This is just, you know, they have some great products, so if you want to use them, feel free. But, you know, I just don't want you to feel obligated. So they've got sign writers, they've got water bottle labels, business cards. I kind of like these little door hangers. Okay, so now we're going to add it to cart. Notice I have a zero balance. I hit checkout. Okay, what this does is this makes everything active. And at the end of every night, this actually is going to syndicate out to a whole bunch of different realtor websites, and it does it every single night, or it just keeps resending it out. So it sends it out to Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com, HotPads. There's like a whole list of them, and you don't have to do anything, like nothing at all. So it's fantastic. So it's nice when, you have some things done for you and you didn't have to really even think about it. So notice that red thing that was over here? See, it's gone, okay? A lot of people, when they add their first property, they forget to buy it. So just try to remember that we want that to be activated. We don't want the red there. Red means bad, okay? So up here, I'm not going to go over all of these, but if you want to do a Craigslist ad, here's where you would go. This is for Broadcast My Move, that little postcard. And this here's where you can customize some different options on the property site, and they have some widgets, of course, that you can add into your own personal website. So, okay, I think that is going to cover it. Let me just we went through the setup. We went through adding a property. Oh, I wanted to show you how to do flyers. Okay, so if you want to print off flyers, very easy to do. By the way, this is a really cool feature. This right here, this is a seller's email. This will tell them about information on the house and links that information was sent to. So this is kind of a cool thing that you can send. I think you send it to yourself and then you forward it on to them. Okay, and this is that email blast that I showed you earlier. This is where you get that too. So those are located in tools. Okay, so under open house flyer is where you get the flyers. So this is the official open house flyer. It has only one picture. Now notice where we put in that property tax, the HOA, the insurance, all that information is on here. It lets them know about how much they would be paying a month. I really like the payment flyer. I think that one's a lot nicer. It's got 3 pictures, so they got text capture on here. Some of these you can download to PDF. You have Flyer 4 is also my favorite. So remember those little things that we put in here? They put those in there for us. I put this in there with a complete remodel, stainless steel appliances, wet bar, I put that in there. So if you add more, obviously it's going to have more information. Now, some of them have the option where you can save pages as PDF, which I find useful because sometimes it'll bleed into the second page. There's a couple things you need to do, and they go through this on printing tips. If you go to print, one of the things you need to make sure is that your margin is at none. Okay, otherwise it could do that. Now I noticed, see how that bled? So what you can actually do is you can print this to an Adobe PDF, and when you do that, I'm not going to do it, but when you do that, you can actually shrink it to fit all on one sheet. So that's kind of a nice little feature. So you can do that if you want to. I've had a couple times where the pictures have been too big and it's just gone on to the next page, so I've had to figure out a lot of little troubleshooting ways to get around things. Okay, so that is going to be it. So I do webinars every Thursday at 10 o'clock. I try to keep them about a half an hour, and I just basically want you guys to know this is a great tool. It's got great things. They're always even coming up with more cool things. I want you to know how to use it so that it can be something that, can help you with advertising. And it's free. How much better is that to not have to pay for it? So I hope that if you can attend the webinars, then you can email your loan officer and I can actually send you the recorded ones. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, contact your loan officer. If they don't know the answer, they can always get with me. Okay? Thank you. Have an awesome week.